Oh yeah, that's gonna look really good. Alright guys, I'm Jason. Welcome to my garage. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about more truck stuff. Specifically the 3rd gen Colorado and Canyon, but I guess that what we're going to talk about today you can apply to most trucks. But here's the thing, I'm not the biggest fan of chrome, and my GMC Canyon has the chrome GMC emblem on the front and rear. I opted for the black AT4X emblems and all that, but still that chrome is just kind of it's just not for me. Might be for you, not for me. So I've always wanted to black it out. And there's a number of ways you could do it, of course. You can go to a body shop and have them paint it, or you can do the old standby, which is plastic dip. But I wanted to do something just a little bit different to show you guys. And so I found a sort of peel and stick complete cap that covered the GMC logo, or at least each letter of the GMC logo. Picked it up from eBay, and it was about, I don't know, $90 or so for the entire set, front and rear. And when I first got them, I started making a video about it and showing you the color was decent. It matched the OEM of the emblem that you were going to be covering up, the color of that. It had pretty decent adhesive. Overall, it looked pretty good. So I started doing a video about the prep and the install, degreasing and then using IPA alcohol to make sure that there's no residue left, and then doing the peel and stick type of thing on that. I even complemented it with a little matching AT4X peel and stick cover that I also found on eBay. And then once I got it installed, I decided to wait a little bit before I completed the video. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because it didn't take 2 months or so where I started to notice that front and rear, they started to fade. And they didn't stop fading. And it got pretty gross looking. So I emailed the seller on eBay, and guess what? I got 0 response, no matter how many times I messaged them. So I'm not going to use my video to trash that seller, but I'm not going to be buying anything from them again, at least not that I'm aware of. So they were so ugly after a while, I just removed them and wanted to find something new. And here's the aftermath. They came off okay. It took a bit of work. I thought for sure that when I originally installed them that the adhesive would be the first part to give out, but no, it held on pretty good. I had to use some picks like this and a 3D printer scraper like this, and even a heat gun to get them to loosen up and come off. These were the front, but the rears, well, they were another story. These were a nightmare to get off. I really had to basically destroy these things to get them to come off. So once again, the adhesive's not the problem. It's just how bad these things faded. I like the concept. So I found another eBay seller and bought something similar. Now, I know it could have been the same seller with just 2 different eBay accounts. It probably was, but the material was different. So let's check that out. So here we go again with the unboxing of the new set that I bought. You get your front, you get your rear, you get the G's, the M's, and the C's, right? What you expect. Let's take a look at one of these. So this looks like a lot better material that I'm hoping doesn't fade like the previous style did. The previous style matched the factory a little bit better, but this matches the AT4X emblem on my vehicle a little bit better. So I'm going to do the exact same thing what I did with the previous set of prepping and installing these. So let's go do that. Okay, so far everything looks okay after removing the faded emblems. There doesn't seem to be any damage. There's a little bit of residue left over, but not too much. I managed to get most of it off. So just like before, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to degrease it. I've been using WD-40 degreaser. I switched to it from Simple Green a few years ago, and I really like it a lot. I'll put a link in the description to a quick short that I made about this. So let's degrease this, and then we'll move on. And just for good measure, we're going to go over it one more time with some alcohol, just to make sure we get any last-minute residue that the degreaser may not have gotten. All right, let's put the new emblems on. Uh-oh. It's that easy. I think it looks pretty good. And I want to do everything I can to keep it from fading, just in case I run into the same problem that we had before. I'm going to throw a coat of Armor Shield Light on it. Now, I've done Armor Shield videos in the past where I tested it, and Armor Shield just makes some really good stuff. Armor Shield Light is so easy. You just spray it on anytime, anywhere, and you're done, and wipe it off and you're done. That's exactly what I'm going to do here. And it smells good too. Man, I think that looks so much better. I think it looks even better than the first attempt I did with the emblems that faded. And you see, it matches the AT4X that I got here that I installed when I did the first emblems that faded. In fact, this is holding up pretty good. I love it. Let's go do the back. You saw how hard it was for me to get the back ones off, the ones that faded. So there's still a little bit more residue of the adhesive on the back than there is on the front. Don't ask me why. I think if I get most of it off, we'll be okay. I think that looks really awesome, especially with the black canyon underneath it that was a factory option. Looks killer. And like before, it matches the factory red. I'm actually kind of glad that the first one's faded. This just seems to match a whole lot better. The first ones, before they faded, they matched the factory underneath, but these match that better. You know what I'm saying. Love it. So it's been a couple of days since I did the installation, and the more I look at it, the more I like it. At first I thought it was a bit too much, too punch you in the face, but the more I see the vehicle from a distance, the better I think it fits the vehicle, especially with everything else that I've got going on with it. I just wish I did it this way to begin with. But you can learn from me, don't make the same mistakes. Honestly, I think I like the look of the back better. Again, it just kind of fits well. And I was looking really, really close, and I can see some mold marks right there. So this isn't just a coating. I think this color is molded right into the plastic itself. So I don't think it's going to fade nearly as easily as the coating on the previous version. If it does, I'm just going to do it a different way, either replacing the entire emblems or going to a body shop or doing the Plastidip like I mentioned before. So far, I'm pretty happy with them. So that's good for the Canyon, guys, but what about if you own a Colorado? Well, I got you covered, because this next part of this video is similar to blacking things out, but it'll apply to both. How about the door handles? I know that some trucks come with black door handles from the factory, and I kind of like the look. Normally, I like the smooth, stealthy, type of look where everything is very uniform, but I think black door handles on this would really complement everything else that I've got going on with it. So I saw that there's a couple of products out on the market where you could just buy them and kind of like peel and stick, just like the emblems there, and put them on the door handles and you're good to go. But the problem that I found is there's a couple of different companies that make them. One cheap and one expensive. The expensive being by a company called Trim Illusion. And I wasn't sure which ones to get, what the differences are, so I did the legwork for you. I bought them both, and let's take a look at how they compare, especially considering there's like a $20 difference, starting with the Trim Illusion version. And here they are. These come in at around $55 on Amazon, but here's a warning. You might look around because you say these are a little expensive, maybe there's something a little cheaper, and then you might come across something like this right here for about $35. So I want to show you the differences in the two. So what do you get for the $55 kit? Towel. You get some cool instructions. You get this, some primer adhesion promoter, and then you get all the pieces. Let's open one up. Okay. Now, let's compare it to the other one. And what do you get for your money? Let's find out. You get pieces. No adhesion promoter, no microfiber towel, no instructions, nothing. And you probably don't need instructions, but let's open this one up and then we'll compare it to the Trim Illusion version. Okay, here they are side by side. Trim Illusion on the left, what's it called? Parts Zen on the right. And at first glance, they look like they're exactly the same. But if you look a little closer, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see that the door lock button hole is a little smaller and a little cleaner than the Parts Zen version. And then when you flip them over, you really start to notice the difference. Especially right there. You see there's, if you can see that, there's like a lip right there that holds this onto the door handle, even if for some reason all of this 3M tape would fail. On this, nothing there. And I started looking even closer. I think the plastic is a little thinner with the parts Zen. Obviously, you don't get near as much 3M double-sided tape. And then I started looking at the differences here, and I see that there's coverage differences too. Like if I put these exactly side by side, so this is going to cover the door handle more. This is going to leave a gap. And in fact, I'll be honest with you, I tried it, and sure enough, up here too, there's a gap here. So for $35, you get some that fit okay, or for $55, you get something that is designed pretty well, much sturdier. It's got I just caught this. It's got a U.S. patent number on it, so they're pretty serious about this. I think the only issue is that, yeah, you can see it gets fingerprints on it, but hey, that's probably why they gave you this. So I will treat this with some Armor Shield or whatever I'm using these days, and later on. But for now, let's get these installed on my truck and see how they look. So before I actually do this, I think I'm going to maybe learn my lesson from trying to remove the GMC emblems from the back of the truck that you saw earlier in this video. Before I actually peel off all this 3M VHB tape that's pretty much going to guarantee it won't ever come off, I'm going to just do some test fits to see if I like the look. And here's the thing, you guys are going to help me decide. More on that in a little bit. So let's just kind of get to the test fitting. Starting with the front driver's side. Okay, remember how I pointed out the lips right there? They're actually, this isn't just slide on. This has got a kind of clear, gosh, I feel weird about pushing on this. I don't want to scratch up the paint here. Hold on. Oh wow. You almost don't need the adhesive for that. I mean, it's on there. I don't want to put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. But that's very well designed. It fits perfectly. Did you guys hear that snap on? All right, let's get to the rest of it here. So this part here doesn't have any lip on it. I mean, it's just going to kind of just sit on there while we take a look at things. Okay. Imagine that the adhesive was exposed and that would be what it looks like. We'll get a broader view of it when I'm done with the rear. Let's get to the rear. It's going to be the same situation because it has that lip, so I'm already a pro at this. Just like that. All right, good enough for just mocking it up. Let's take a step back and see how it looks. All right, here is the big view of it. You know, emblems, wheels, and of course, the door handles. What do you guys think? Too much? Just enough? Well, you're going to help me decide because I'm quite honestly really torn. I mean, I think it looks good, but does it look good for me? Or is this something that you would do if this was your truck? So what I need you to do is back out of this video when you're done watching it and go to the homepage of my YouTube channel, and you're going to find a post tab somewhere, and I'm going to put a poll there. Tell me what you think. Boy, I'm really torn. If I were to have one wish, I think it would be that they gave an extra one of these to put here, because ask yourself this question. How many times lately have you used a key to unlock a car door? It's probably maybe never for some of you, right? I used to actually make and sell a product called Smooth Locks that kind of made these visually disappear. In fact, I found an old one and I did have it in there for a little bit. You might have seen it earlier in the video. And the other thing is this chrome button really sticks out a lot, but that can be easily fixed with just a piece of vinyl. But anyway, enough of that. Get over to the post tab and tell me what you think of these door handle covers. Well, I'm glad it came with that microfiber towel because, as you can see, just like we thought, fingerprints galore. I'll throw some Armor Shield on this too, and that'll help, provided I even keep them on. I gotta be delicate about this. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think we can guarantee that if you use the adhesive, it's never, ever, ever going to come off. I gotta go find that. Okay, yet another warning to you. Maybe I can polish that out. Let's go back inside. All right, so it's going to be up to you whether or not I put those door handle covers back on, or if I don't know, stick them on eBay, get rid of them or something like that. Really want to know your opinion? I am still torn to this day. But here's a cool little side note. Remember how I was removing the one from my truck and it popped off and I lost control of it and it went down on the concrete and had some little nicks in it? Well, check this out. I was putting everything back in the box and I realized there's more pieces in there than what I needed. It actually comes with 2 more that have the lock hole there. I don't know if there's like a 4-door vehicle that these fit that have the lock button on all 4 doors or what, but I can, you know, not use the one that's chewed up that I dropped and use a nice fresh one that's in the package. So once again, nice touch for the Trim Illusion guys. So that's it. Head over, vote on my poll, tell me what you think. Leave your comments below on what you think I've done so far to the truck and maybe what you want to see next. And I appreciate you watching my video. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you next time here on Jason's Garage.